Good morning, class. Before we start, please pick up the pieces of papers and trash on the floor and arrange your chairs properly. Done? Very good. I'm requesting everyone to please remain standing and let us start this day with a prayer led by Miss Padilla. Amen. Now you may take your seat. Good morning once again. I am Lauren Ranyola, a second-year student of Moncayo College of Arts, Sciences, and Technology. I am taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. I am going to be your English student teacher for today's class discussion. May I know the name of the students who are absent today? None? Very good. I am very delighted that no one is absent today. Well, for us to have the energy that we need, I'm requesting everyone to please stand up because I prepare a short energizer. So this energizer is an action song. The name of this action song is Our Life is Confusing. So this is the tune of this song. Our life is confusing. Sometimes we laugh and then we cry. Oh, why? The action would be your right hand, you are going to make a box like this one. And then for your left hand, you are going to use the up and down motion. Okay, let's try. Are you ready? Okay, let's try. Our life is confusing. Sometimes we laugh and then we cry. Oh, why? Okay, very good, students. Now, please take your seat again. Thank you so much. Let's try to recall our topic last meeting. Do you still remember the lesson that we discussed? Anyone? Yes, Mr. Sanchez. Very good. Our topic last meeting was all about the nature of language learning. We learned that active process of language learning is it starts from birth and then it continues throughout our life. We are able to learn language since we use it to express our feelings and convey our thoughts. Okay, very good. Now, before we proceed to our lesson, I prepared two short activities. The name of this first activity is Remember Me. In this activity, I am going to show you a set of words. What you are going to do is that you are going to memorize them. I'll be giving you 1 minute per set of words. So are you ready? Okay, let's start. So these are the first set of words. Your words are the key. Your timer starts now. Okay, the next set of word is to success. Your timer starts now. And last but not the least, the last words is failure. Okay, time's up. So does any one of you can recite those words in order? Yes, Miss De La Peña. Very good. Let us give 5 clap to Miss De La Peña. So the phrase that you can form if you are going to combine those words in order is the key to success is failure. I want to remind you, my dear student, that failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success because if you fail, you will learn, and if you will learn, you will succeed. Now let us go to our last activity before we start our lesson. The name of this activity is Touch Me and Remember Me. For this activities, I want 3 volunteers. Yes, Mr. De La Cruz. Yes, Miss Trinidad. And yes, Mr. Magdayaw. Okay, so I have 3 objects here. I have a Rubik's Cube, a stuffed toy, and a rock. I want the 3 of you to touch and feel the texture of these objects. Are you done? Okay, I want the 3 of you to close your eyes and Don't peek, okay? I am going to give you a random object, and by its texture, tell me the name of that object without looking at it. Are you ready? Okay, close your eyes. Mr. Dela Cruz, touch and tell me the name of this object. Okay, for Mr. Magdayo, touch and tell me the name of this object. And last, for Miss Trinidad, touch and tell me the name of this object. Well done, students. You may now take your seat. So I have a question. Anyone can answer. You just need to raise your hand for you to be recognized. Okay. So my question is, do you think that you can still memorize those words tomorrow or a few days from now? Yes? Miss Bailon? Thank you so much, Miss Bailon, for that wonderful answer. Well, for my next question, do you think what is the connection of these activities to our lesson today? Yes, Mr. Burgos? Well said, Mr. Burgos. Thank you so much. For my last question, can any one of you guess our lesson for today based on our activities a while ago? Yes, Mr. Ponce. Wow, that's a very good guess, Mr. Ponce. Okay, the long wait is over. Now is the time that we are going to learn our new lesson. But before that, let me read to you our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students are expected to have a deeper understanding about language acquisition and cognition. The second one is that you are able to cite the concepts of these educational implications. And the third one is describe the steps involved in learning, storing, and using language. Our topic today is all about language acquisition and cognition. The theory of language learning is based on the concept that a kid obtains language at the same moment that the kid develops intelligence. The essential concept is concerned with the basic brain structures that enables children to acquire linguistic forms. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the two theories of language acquisition and cognition. The information processing theory, and the second one is the skill acquisition theory. Let us first talk about the information processing theory. Information processing theory refers to the words that we are still discovering. These words that you learn is based on the information that you get from your teachers, your parents, or the people around you. For those information that you get, your brain will be the one who will filter that information that you need. What type of information you want and what are the information that you don't like and you don't need. The information that you need will go to your short-term memory, and if you practice those information a lot of time with repetition, you are able to include that information in your long-term memory. Let us discover who is the founder of information processing theory. He is no other than George Miller. George Miller is an American psychologist. He was born on February 3, 1920 and died on July 22, 2012. He described that learning as an improvement of one's knowledge based in memory. According to him, IPT are the new information that we know or learn. This information is stored to our short-term memory, and with constant repetition, it will eventually be stored in our long-term memory. Now, there is a metaphor of learning in information processing theory. Teacher equals laptop, student equals flash drive. In this illustration, the teacher holds all the information while the student is the receiver of the information. The student will choose what information they would like to store in their memory. So if you really like or if you really want that memory, you are going to put it in your short-term memory, and with repetition, it will be stored in your long-term memory. So constant repetition is very important in this theory. The best example for information processing theory is the sensory memory. In our sensory memory, there is what we call stimuli. Stimuli are the factors that triggers us on how we are able to learn something new. In our sensory memory, we have haptic, which is our sense of touch; echoic, which is our sense of hearing; iconic, which is our sense of sight; olfactory, which is our sense of smell; and the last one is gustatory, which is our sense of taste. So how are we going to apply the sensory memory for us to learn a language? For example, for a quick view of students who are fond of watching K-dramas, and if you watch K-dramas, you will always hear the word annyeong. Annyeong is a Korean word that translates to hello. Of all the words that you hear in that K-drama that you are watching, you are going to choose the word annyeong. So you choose that information. Now you're going to put it in your short-term memory. With constant repetition, like you are going to use it, instead of saying hello to your friends, you're going to say annyeong, and you will repeat it all over and over again. That information will now go to your long-term memory. And the chances is, you will not forget that the word annyeong means hello. For you to have a better understanding or a deeper understanding about information processing theory, I am going to show you the information processing model here. So as you can see here, there is a sensory input, which refers to the information from your sensory memory. In this part, there are still possibility that you are going to forget that information. But if that information is maintained by rehearsal or constant repetition, that information will go to your long-term memory, which means that you will not forget that information, or if you will forget it, there are little chances that you forget all the information. Okay? Now let's go to the second theory. The second language theory is called skill acquisition theory. From the title itself, skill acquisition theory, you will now have a hint on how are you going to acquire language in this language theory. In this theory, you can acquire language using psychomotor skills. In this theory, it's all about the language and like the general psychomotor of language learning. In this skill acquisitions, you are learning a language based on the skills that you have or the skills that you see from other people. So there are three skills or three stages in skill acquisition theory: the cognitive stage, the acquisition stage, and the autonomous stage. In stage 1, or the cognitive stage, you will focus on the things that you want to do and how you're going to do it. For example, your playmate tells you to run. How do you know, or how you are able to run? How do you know the word run? Well, you can ask your friend how to run, and you will know how to do it. And you will also know what it is called. So in stage 1, it is the combination of your skills and your knowledge. In stage 2, or the associative skills, you will be associated with the skills or the scale into practice. So you, based on our example, a while ago, you will know how to run and you will know what is running. In this stage, improvement is crucial. It doesn't mean that you already know how to run and you know the word run. You are already able, or you are master of that skills, or you are good in that skills. In this stage, you still make a lot of mistakes. For our last stage, or the third stage, it's called autonomous stage. From the word autonomous, it means that you can do things automatically. In this stage, you already have the mastery of the skills, and you will also know how to correct your mistakes and how are you going to improve it. For better understanding of this stage is all about what you know and how you know. What are the things that you are going to do? And for the stage 2, this is about your focus of the information that you learn. And the last stage is your development or your mastery about the skills that you already know. You are already a master of the skills, so you can do that skills automatically. For the summary of our last lesson, the concept behind language learning states that a child acquired language and at the same time they gain intellect in the lesson. We learned that there are 2 types of language acquisition theory, and these are the information processing theory and also the skills acquisition theory. Since we are done with our lessons, I would like to assess if you learned something. I want you to group yourself into 5, and we are going to have a short and quick group activity. In this activity, each of the members of the group will choose what sensory memory they are going to explain and present here in front. You should provide your own explanation based on your understanding for our today's lessons and create relatable examples. I will give you 5 minutes to do your task. Your timer starts now. Well done, students. Your performance are excellent. Let's give ourselves a warm of applause. Now, please get 1 whole sheet of paper for your individual activity. In your 1 whole sheet of paper, you are going to write a short reflection about the things that you learned from our lesson. For the criteria of your reflection paper, grammar will be 25 points, arrangement of thought is 15 points, and neatness is 10 points, and for the total of 50 points. Since this is short reflections, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to do your task. Since you already have your papers with you, you may now start writing your reflection paper. Okay, time's up. I know that most of you are done, so you can now submit your paper. For your assignment, these are the things that you're going to do. First one, take some rest, spend time with your family, pray and worship the Lord. I want all of you to enjoy this time of holiday. And this is my assignment. This assignment is my Christmas gift for you. Okay, that would be all. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for listening and have fun learning.